Are you planning a trip to France or planning on transiting through France in the future? Is your motorhome capable of being legally driven at a weight of over 3.5 tonnes? If so, you need to watch this video.
Chasing every moment, all the good nights. We're always looking out and it's a good life. We go around the world for a show. And it's a good time. We're chasing every moment, all the good nights. We're always looking out and it's a good life. No, we are never letting this go.
Hey, I'm Kat from Wandering Bird, where we share tips and tricks for touring the UK and Europe by motorhome and campervan. Today I am going to be talking about the blind spot stickers for France and the new law that the French brought into play on the 1st of January 2021. Before I get started, let me direct your attention to the notes for this video where you can grab your free French motorhoming checklist. Make sure that you've got everything you need before you head over to France, and there's also a link in there which will give you access to our free resource library that's got lots of checklists and tips and itineraries and various things which you might find useful for your motorhoming holiday. So the link for that is in the notes as well. Right, let's talk about the new law passed in France about blind spot warning stickers. So this was a law that came into effect on the 1st of January 2021, and it basically states that any vehicle capable of being legally driven over 3.5 tonnes, even if that vehicle doesn't weigh over 3.5 tonnes, but any vehicle which can be legally driven at a weight over 3.5 tonnes must have blind spot warning stickers displayed on the vehicle when you are in France. Now, there's been a lot of myths and legends about this law, and some people saying that it doesn't apply to motorhomes, I guess campervans if you can get one that's over 3.5 tonnes. Some people saying that if you're transiting through France to get to a different country, you don't need to have them. And some people saying that it only applies to vehicles which are registered in France. So let's go through the actual facts, maybe put aside anything that you thought you knew or that you've heard on some Facebook forum, and let's go through what the law actually applies to. So first things first, it applies to any vehicle, no matter where your vehicle is registered, which includes British vehicles. You must have these stickers displayed before you arrive in France. There is a line in the law about urban areas, and I do not speak French or legalese well enough to say whether or not you must only have them if you're planning on driving into an urban area. My advice would be that if your vehicle is capable of being legally driven at over 3.5 tonnes, you display these stickers. Next question, what are the stickers? These stickers are black and yellow and red. They don't particularly fit into any motorhome livery that I've ever seen, but they are designed specifically for that purpose, to catch the attention of cyclists and pedestrians and even motorbikers and people who may not be aware that a large vehicle has blind spots, and they may not be visible in those blind spots if they cut down the side or they try to cut inside while the vehicle's trying to turn, or any one of things which have been leading to accidents. So the aim is to alert other road users to the fact that larger vehicles don't have the same sort of visibility that they might think they do. It's similar to the signs, which I've always thought was a really good idea, but on the back of a lorry, say if you can't see my mirrors, I can't see you. It's that sort of thought process, but they've now made it a legal requirement. Now, you cannot just put any old sticker that you like on there. They must be officially French government sanctioned stickers. They are a particular design and they have the words "angle mort" on them. You can buy them off Amazon, and again in the link there's the link to them if you need to get them. You will only need 3, but you can buy them in packs of like 6 and 9 and 30 if you happen to have lots of vehicles that need them, or you want to group together and buy them. I think the pack that I saw was like £5 for 3, so they're not extortionate. You can also buy them off the government website. There's no difference. Some of them have a little heavy goods vehicle lorry on them, and some of them have a little bus. It's not clear which one you would need for motorhome. If I had to stick them, we don't, obviously our vehicle's under 3.5 tonnes, but if I had to fit them, I'd probably go for the bus, but I don't believe it makes a huge amount of difference. The stickers have to be a certain size, and bear with me while I look at my notes to make sure that I give you the right size. They must be, the stickers must be between 17 and 25 centimetres tall, and they're generally taller than they are wider. They also must be positioned in specific spots on the vehicle. So you must have one on the front, left and right on the cab, and it must be within the first metre of the front of the vehicle. You cannot stick them on windows. So if you have a vehicle, perhaps an A-class maybe, that the first metre or so is all glass, then you've got to do it at the next point where it's feasible, because there's also an implication on height. They have to be placed within 0.9 metres and 1.5 metres off the ground. So you can see why if you go too far forward and that high, it might well end up on the windscreen or something. And they cannot be placed anywhere on glass, and they can't be placed anywhere where they may obstruct a driver's field of view. So basically on glass, but hey, they said that twice. Okay, so that's the front. You've got to have one on each side on the front. Then you have to have one on the rear. Same height restriction, so within 0.9 metres and 1.5 metres, it has to be positioned on the right side of the vehicle. I'm just looking at that video, if the way that it's filming, does it look like I've gone to the left? But I haven't. This is my right side, but I'm pretty sure it looks like this is my left side, so maybe, I don't know. To the right side on the rear of the vehicle as you're looking at it. Now, if you are towing, if you have a bike rack, if you have a storage box like we have, that might not work at that height restriction in that spot. So you then have to position your sticker anywhere that makes sense, but no more than 2.1 metres above the height of the ground, because if it's too high up, the thought is that the cyclist or the pedestrian won't see it. If you can hear gnawing, by the way, the dog has decided that now's a brilliant time to gnaw his bone at my feet. At least he's been quiet, I suppose. So yeah, the rear could be a bit of an issue if you have various things on the rear of your vehicle. What is so foolish about this is that you can have a 7-metre motorhome which is under 3.5 tonnes, and you can have a 7-metre motorhome which could be over 3.5 tonnes. And there's no way to tell the difference. I don't know how they're going to get around that. Obviously, this law has been slow to come out because of the issues that have been going on since the 1st of January 2021, but it remains to be seen exactly how they're going to try and enforce that with motorhomes which aren't obviously over 3.5 tonnes. The penalty, if you're found to be over or have the potential of being over 3.5 tonnes and you haven't got these stickers fitted, is €135. And as with most French fines, that's due to be paid on the spot, there and then, in cash. Now, the French motorhoming press were very, very, let's say, non-committal at the beginning of this year, because it was really unclear whether or not it applied to motorhomes or not. Since then, they've changed their tune. I believe the wording in the law has been tightened up a little bit, and they are saying now that it does apply to motorhomes over 3.5 tonnes. So yeah, that clears that up. Another thing that's been causing confusion is if you have these, some people have like blind spot cameras. Apparently buses have them a lot, and the French bus network were getting all up in arms because they have blind spot cameras. So if you happen to have them fitted so you can see down the sides of your vehicle, you still need to get these stickers fitted. So if you've seen that on a forum or something, then that's incorrect. You definitely still need to get these fitted. So that's it. That is the France blind spot law. Is it going to be one of these flash in the pan things like the French breathalyzer law was? Possibly. I don't know. I can't see into the future, sadly. So for now, all we can say is that that is the law that exists at the moment, and at the moment you need to have those stickers fitted if your vehicle has a total authorised laden mass of more than 3.5 tonnes. Is it a pain? Yes. Is it a bit of an ugly eyesore on your motorhome? Yes. Is it the law in France? Yes. So, not a whole lot we can do about it. Anyway, I hope that that was helpful and cleared up some of the confusion that I've seen going around various Facebook groups and forums and things. If you are planning a France trip, and I hope you are, because everyone needs something to look forward to in their lives, then don't forget to grab the France motorhoming checklist, which the link to is in the show notes. If you're new to the channel, hi, welcome, and if you'd like some more tips and tricks for motorhoming around the UK and Europe, then by all means hit subscribe and little bell and you'll find out when our next video comes out. Right, that's everything from me. Thank you very much for your time. I'll see you on the next video. Take care. Bye.
We are out. We're talking